Hi, I'm Annette, one of the co-founders here at the Curiosity Crew. I have two kids that are in elementary school, and we started homeschooling in 2020.
And hi, I'm Ashley, and I am the other co-founder of the Curiosity Crew and the executive director. I have two kids as well, and I've been homeschooling since 2019. We are here today to share with you a little about what inspired us to create the Curiosity Crew and also what to expect when you're at the Curiosity Crew.
So at its core, the Curiosity Crew is a place where homeschool kids can come together and learn in a really fun and hands-on and exciting way, all while getting to spend the day with a group of friends. You know, they'll be with the same group of kids for the whole day and hopefully get a chance to develop some bonds that they'll have for many years to come.
Exactly. I'm super looking forward to us getting started with our first class this fall. We are based in Minneapolis and we'll be meeting once a week. Our classes will be STEM, history, science, and then we really value free time and having a chance for students to really work together and bond. So we'll also have an extended lunch and free open-ended playtime. So the day is split into 4 blocks and each of those are of equal length.
Yeah, and that's really one of the reasons we picked our location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's plenty of space indoors and outdoors to have class in either place.
Yeah, offers a lot of flexibility for weather and depending on what type of project you're doing. Sometimes it works better inside, sometimes it works better outside. I'm super excited about the location that we're meeting.
And over the past couple of months, we've really had a chance to meet several new homeschooling families. We've had a chance to talk to them about why they started homeschooling and what they like about homeschooling. And we've found kind of some similar trends, some of the same reasons we like to homeschool. It gives our kids plenty of chances to learn when and where and how they want to. Mm-hmm. They have time during the day to get outside. It just gives a lot of flexibility for travel, and it also allows us as parents to tailor the lessons to our kids' learning differences.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of that resonates with our family's journey. We love the flexibility and the time to travel, the chance to spend more time together as a family. For us, one of my sons is neurodivergent, and I think one of the greatest gifts that we've had as a homeschooling family is to really be able to lean into that as his strength and not his weakness, and really give him a chance to access all the information that he wants to and kind of explore anything he'd like to learn. It doesn't hold him back in our experience.
Absolutely. And we've heard from families too about maybe some things in homeschooling that aren't working perfectly for them. And again, these are things we found in our own journeys. As a parent, I sometimes want my kids to have somewhere to go and something to do outside of the house while I have some chances to plan lessons or get some housework done or do some errands. Mm-hmm. And also I've had a really hard time finding a science curriculum that I can stick with and spend the whole year on and find all of the materials and supplies and have it ready week after week. And then I want my kids to have the opportunity to have some consistency with their social groups and develop some close friendships as well.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, one thing for us is when the week gets busy, we always get to language arts, we always get to reading, we always get to math. But the first thing that gets shortened or kind of shoved into an odd space or pushed to next week is our history and science. And I'm super bummed about that because that's some of the stuff that's most inspiring to my kids, and I love it too, and it's so valuable. So that's part of the reason why I am a part of this project, is I want to make sure that I create space and time and honor that piece of our learning journey.
Right. Yes, I know that those things get put on the back burner in our house too, or I will have every intention of getting to that science lesson and then open up the book and see that there's a supply that I don't have, or I forgot to get something, or maybe my kids used the supply we need last week in a different project.
Exactly. So. And then you kind of lose the momentum of it, and maybe you don't get to it,
right.
Which is a bummer.
Exactly. So, Ashley, you're going to be teaching one of the classes this fall. Can you give us a little bit more of an idea of what the classes are going to look like?
Yeah, I'm going to be teaching the science classes this fall, and I'm super excited. Science is my jam. It's the thing I love to nerd and geek out on. I studied it in college. For me, there's so much research about science education in terms of doing hands-on experiments and then learning kind of the academic science content behind it. And that's really the philosophy I bring to my science classes as well.
Excellent. So, give us an example. Like, what might the kids be doing on a day in their science class?
Yeah, let me give you an example of a class I taught. So for me personally, like, you could have the kids sit in front of at a table with a worksheet and a PowerPoint and learn it, but not fun, right? So one class I taught years ago, it was my first time with this group of kids, and for the semester I really wanted to make sure they had a firm understanding of how to run a scientific experiment. So what we did, we had access to these really long slides, and we took sleds that you would use in the winter to go down a hill and covered the bottom of them with different types of materials. Took some stopwatches, measured how long it took to go down, and kept track of all that information in a data table. So my students were learning how to kind of run an experiment, how to keep track of their data. At the end of it, we graphed that data, made some conclusions based on what went fastest, what went slowest, what had the most friction, what had the least amount of friction. But from there, what I really wanted to dig into was how do we actually run a scientific experiment? So then we talked about what is an independent variable, the piece that we control, what's the dependent variable, the thing that changed, and how do we use those then to make a conclusion based on our observations. So we got a chance to really dig into it first and then put the scientific terms to it at the end. And the best part of that is the rest of the semester, we were able to just easily reference back to it. And it was a great triggering moment for the students' memory, and they were able to access that information from then on.
That sounds awesome, and I'm sure the kids had a great time getting to learn about variables and friction, all while going down slides.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. I will say, not my favorite thing to go down, but the kids really enjoyed it.
So I've had a chance to talk to all of the educators that are going to be working with our students this fall, and I'm just so inspired by how much passion they have, the amazing ideas they have. They have such fantastic ideas for hands-on projects, and I think it's just going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with everyone's commitment to kind of collaboration and hands-on learning as a valuable piece of a student experience. I know for a fact my kids are super excited about it and kind of itching to start it already, so I can't wait for the fall to start.
Yeah, my kids are super excited as well. Whenever I've told them about what's going to be happening, they can't wait to get started.
Yeah, we're so glad you joined us to learn a little bit more about the Curiosity Crew, our inspirations and what to expect. We hope to see you on your homeschooling journey this fall.
Yeah.
Stay curious.
You. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.